marinated, so tender. It's one of the most tender pieces of chicken I've had in forever. And these sweet dumplings, these fried dumplings, essentially, they're like donuts, served with honey, and they do a house-made jerk sauce, and then they serve that with smashed plantains, and they kind of let you know on a little chalkboard whether they're yellow or green plantains that day. They have wonderful falafel, which is more on kind of a kind of a creamy side rather than kind of the crunchy style falafel, not dry at all. A lot of times falafel can be like hockey pucks. It's not like that. They do have a calypso salad. They have different kinds of pastas. And then they do a Caribbean burger, which is very small menu, like 6 different things on the menu. For dessert, they have these mango-filled empanadas. And it's just, everything is made in-house, super fresh, and the food is terrific. And I mean, just being in the atmosphere there is, I mean, you just relax.
Venice Cafe is what? Is that on Sydney Street there?
It is.
Pestalozzi.
Yeah,
Pestalozzi.
Yeah,
Very good, yeah.
It is 1903 Pestalozzi Street. And again, that is in Benton Park. They're closed on Sundays, but open every other day.
First time I was there, Carney took me there, and the bartender was serving drinks out of a bus, and they were wearing shoulder pads.
Why not?
And I was like, what kind of place is this? It's like dress as you feel like. I mean, and they were wearing literally shoulder pads. And I was like, hey, I'll have an of too. Venice Cafe. All right, what else you got?
Okay, number 2 is, are you familiar with O'Fallon Brewery?
Yes.
Are you familiar with their beer?
Yes.
So they have just, like last week, they opened up their brand new, humongous 40,000 square foot brewery, and they now also have a little restaurant that is going to be that is part of it, and the food is terrific. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to Mabel Soon, who is our fantastic freelance writer, who is kind of like seeking out all these spots, and so she's doing a really great job reporting on these pieces. And so I had a chance to stop by the brewery, and I love O'Fallon beer. They are the makers of a fantastic smoked porter. They do the Weech beer. If you're familiar with that one, it's kind of like that peach infused. It's wonderful. They do the 5-day IPA. And so on this new menu, you'll find the beers infused into the food. So for example, they have a French dip sandwich, and the jus has the smoked porter. Their salads have a Weech vinaigrette. They do this beer lime shrimp, where the shrimp are marinated in the 5-day IPA. And they actually have this really awesome burger that the spent grain from the brewery is sent to the farmer who's raising the cattle, and the cattle are fed the spent grain. And
so the cattle are drunk too now?
It's the spent grain.
I guess they
It's
feel
the
like,
spent
hey,
grain. That's what I'm going to
if
use.
they're out there, they
I'm
gotta
not
be
drunk,
drinking.
officer. It's the spent grain.
But it's great, and I mean, everything was. It's a really approachable brew pub style menu. You know, like pretzel bites, and and the shrimp, and there's this really great chicken spadini sandwich. You know, really approachable stuff.
Right.
Some flatbreads and salads, but everything is really well made, and I like the fact that they're not like trying to reinvent the wheel. They're just doing really good, approachable brew pub fare to pair with these fantastic beers. And you can do a flight if you want. They have like 20 different taps at the brewery, and it's really great to see. And the address, by the way, 45 Progress Parkway. Say that 5 times fast.
That's a hard one.
Yes, it's in Maryland Heights.
It's in Westport. It's over in Westport.
Essentially, yeah. And it's right now there's a bunch of construction because they're building a new hotel. So there's a big detour. So just be patient. You'll find it.
So smell the spent hops.
Yeah, it's near it's a great amenity for all of the folks that work out there, because it is a big industrial park, kind of like Edward Jones is there. There's a bunch of hospital
that's good
stuff.
point. Yeah.
And when I was there, it was packed with folks.
That's good.
And the
I mean,
service
it just
was terrific.
opened, right? Just opened.
Oh, like last week.
Right. Yeah.
It's brand new.
I don't think people give O'Fallon Brewery enough credit for the beer.
Well, one of the reasons why the owner decided to make this move is that he felt like O'Fallon as a brand wasn't truly connected to kind of the craft scene, because the old location, which I'd been to a number of times actually, out in O'Fallon, Missouri, you could make an appointment to go and you could taste some beers there, but it wasn't designed as a place to connect with the beer and connect with the brew process. It really was it was a brewery. And so this new location location is allowing them to bring all of their brewing and bottling in-house. They're going to be doing a canning line beginning in October. And this new location also is going to allow them to double their capacity in what they're able to brew. I think it's 25,000 barrels is what they're targeting. I mean, it's a big step of growth. It just really shows you what is happening in the craft brew scene. I mean, it's not just small. There are a lot of small guys doing really amazing stuff, like Earthbound Beer and Modern Brewery. But then you have these players like O'Fallon that have been around for many, many, many years. And just the success of what they're doing, they're able to debut these massive
Urban
breweries.
Chestnut and other stuff.
Oh, Urban Chestnut, Four Hands. I mean, look at what Perennial and Side Project are doing. Second Shift Brew. Yeah, I mean, there is so much going on in the beer scene.
Before we get to what's going on with Feast Magazine, have you ever been to McSorley's Bar in New York?
Yes.
So
they still have the sawdust on the floors.
Yes, they still have the original still from the 1850s.
You can only get like 2 or 3 beers that they brew there.
That's right. So you walk in and they're like light or dark.
Yeah.
And it was $2. It was 2 beers for $5.50.
Which is cheaper in New York.
Right. Well, they're 2 small little beers. And the beer was actually
It's very good.
Really,
and it's the
really
original, it's 19th century. It's from the mid-1800s,
Yeah,
right?
it's really good beer. But the reason why I bring it up is because, and they have dust from the 1850s there.
Yes, they do.
And I'm convinced the waiter was a ghost from the 1850s. Because he just sort of stealthily appeared. And then we ordered, and I'm not joking you, we ordered a cheese plate. So they came a moment later with the cheese plate, and they had little squares of cheese, raw onions.
Ooh, nice.
And a sleeve of unwrapped saltines.
Did you get any mustard or anything?
No, and the guy's like, here you go, here's a cheese plate. And I was like, so they're not really big on customer service. Are they more about atmosphere? So at the end...
It's very traditional.
In a sense, right. So at the end, I said, can we get our check? And the guy goes, $24. And so I whip out my debit card. He's like, no, cash only.
Oh, he tells you then.
Right.
No sign.
Right. So they've been cash only since the 1840s. I mean, how, that's an interesting...
Talk about old school.
Old school. That place is awesome. Yeah, anybody listening who's never been to McSorley's in New York, you should
go and have 2.
If you're a fan of beer and history, that's where the two collide.
I mean, you could do a whole archaeological dig in that place and look at the dust. Yeah. All right, Feast Magazine, what's coming up?
Yes, the July issue is out on stands, and this is where the East meets the Midwest. We really kind of are exploring a lot of various Asian, cuisine from the Asian continent. There's actually a photo essay from my trip to Vietnam.
Oh.
Everybody was asking, what was it like? What was it like? So we have this great photo essay, but we also have terrific features on Mofu Tofu, which if you're not familiar, I think we've talked about it before on the show, but it is a St. Louis-based artisan tofu company, and they make amazing products that you can get at like Local Harvest and other kind of small retailers, but they are on a number of menus around town. He does pop-ups at Sump Coffee. You can get like Mofu tacos at Mission Taco, but it is fantastic artisan tofu. So we have a great feature in that, and we also have like a piece on soju cocktails and kind of the trend for that, which you can get over at Soul Taco and Soul Q Barbecue over in the Loop. So it's a great issue, kind of full of because Asian food is terrific. It's light, it's perfect for summer. So that is the issue out on stands.
And you can subscribe. Go to feastmagazine.com for more information, or you can pick it up at newsstands everywhere.
Yes.
Venice Cafe, that and McSorley's, cash only, and O'Fallon Brewery over there in Westport. Kat Neville from Feast Magazine, sponsored by Jimmy's on the Park, 706 DeMunn Avenue in Clayton, 725-8585. Their website, jimmyscafe.com. Jimmy's Cafe is perfect. Jimmy's on the Park, jimmyscafe.com, is perfect for dinner right before the Muni. That's right, jimmyscafe.com or Jimmy's on the Park, 706 DeMunn Avenue in Clayton. Check them out.